Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another creative aging program here at the Rawlings Library. I'm Sharon. I'm the Makerspace librarian here at Rawlings, and I'm coming to you from our Makerspace. It's good to see all of you guys again tonight, even virtually. Tonight we've got Shannon Miller from Sizzlen Stampers, who is going to be showing us how to do her monthly kit. Um, I noticed that we didn't have quite as many folks sign up this time as we normally do, but that's okay. It's perfectly fine. We've got a new system. I think I might have mentioned it last week that I'm still learning, but I did learn today the process of how to register for our kits. So it's the same process as we used to have, where you would go to the calendar and then click on the day, and then click on the event to register. It just looks a little bit different, but it's the same process. If you're having a hard time finding the event, they're arranged by chronological order, and our creative aging stuff's at night, and it's actually kind of late at night. So you're going to go all the way down to the bottom, and that is where you will find our registration. We've got a bunch of cool kits coming up in February. I'm really excited to do those with you, Valentine's kits and just some cool winter stuff. All right, those are my announcements for the evening. I will go ahead and work on getting you started. I just realized that my video decided that I needed to have some email verification for it, so I'm going to do that real quick while I'm talking to you, and I hope you can still see me and not that I am logging into my email here. It's kind of weird that it did that, but I think we must have had a internet strangeness. So I'm going to go ahead and find our video. Here. I'm going to go ahead. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't sharing me trying to find it here. Give me 2 shakes, and we will find what we need. All right. Okay, I found it. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause that. Make it big. Okay, we're ready to go. Hold on 1 second and I'll get it up and running.
Hi, Shannon here with Shannon Sizzlen Stampers, and today I'm excited to bring to you another one of our local library community classes. Before we begin, just a couple of things that I want you to be aware of. For Stampin' Up, these 2 months, January and February, are super fun celebration months for us. So we do have an extra little brochure as that you can earn free items from when you purchase 50 or $100+. There are 2 different levels. And then we do have our brand new, what we're calling JJ, January to June mini catalog. So that's super exciting. I've got a couple of things out here. So if there's something that you would like, please feel free to just email, text, or message me on Facebook, Messenger, or at my page. I do have my card information up here at the top, and you'll notice I have a little arrow. I just this last weekend got my Sizzlen Stampers blog up, so it's brand new. So hopefully you can touch base there 1 or 2 times a week and see. My goal is to try to post 1 to 2 times a week right now. We'll see. Hopefully I can grow that, but it's important for me to try to be consistent. So today we have such a cute, it's a teeny tiny Valentine that's just heartfelt. Um, my saying is coming from this particular stamp set, Heartfelt, which I really love. And if you want it, it's something that is available. And then you will see that I have used 2 punches. They come as a duo punch pack. You have the smooth heart, and then you have the scallop heart that's larger. So you can layer those two together, and you'll see that happen as we proceed with the project. So in your bag, when you get it, your kit's going to look like this. And in your bag, you have my information, of course. The one thing that is not on these is that new blog information, and it's just Sizzlen with an E, Sizzlen stampers.blogspot.com. That's up there. Otherwise, you do have my other contact information. As you pull this out, be very careful. You're going to have a little thin scrap of dark gray cardstock. You're going to have a little teeny itty bitty mini envelope that you're going to make. And then you're going to have two pieces of paper. One that's solid. Let me get a better one. I don't know how that was crazy on that one. One that's a solid color and one that is a print, and there's a variety. So that's what you're going to have loose. Then if you carefully open your tin, this is going to hold some treats, but I will tell you, if anyone out there is a baker or whatever, this is a bakeable tin. So you can pour like a cake mix in this and make heart-shaped cupcakes. And up top should be attached your little stamp for this month, whatever that might be. They're all varied. Some are little hearts, some's a little decorative, some have single words. There's a few with a couple of phrases. But whatever your little stamp is for the month is in there. If you don't see it hooked to the lid, that probably just means it came loose. So be very careful when you take all your things out of your little tin. Within the tin, like I said, you have your stamp. You're going to have pre-punched a scallop heart in red and a designer paper heart. There's different prints. This is the other thing to be very mindful of in here. You have this little itty bitty, teeny tiny strip of little mini resin hearts. So these are super teeny tiny. And then you have, loose in your bag, you're going to have one extra piece of candy. Sorry. It could be a candy bar like that, or it could be a nugget like that. For whatever reason, when I was doing my candy, I only put one in. Then in your box, you are going to have another candy bar. You're going to have some candy kisses, and you're going to have this teeny tiny little die of a stitched little tiny rectangle, and that's going to be the little love note that's going to go into your envelope later. So these two pieces of candy, whatever they look like, you're going to set those aside, and your candy kisses are for your heart tin for giving, whatever you are going to do. So we're going to start with the easy project on here. And that is, we're going to finish decorating the little tin first of all. So for the tin, you're going to need the little cards and the hearts. Okay. Step one is very, very simple. Literally, you're just going to, I thought I got out my new glue and I didn't. You're just with whatever adhesive of choice. I'm just using the white multi-purpose liquid glue. You're going to glue those hearts together, just center them up however you want, and you're going to glue them together. Now, the next step is to take and fold. You can see on your little envelope that there are little score lines pre-done for you. This is all a die. It coordinates to a Snell set, and it's super cute. And then you're going to look at your flaps. These two are obviously the side flaps, but you'll notice these two flaps are very similar in shape. This one flap is slightly smaller, and that's the bottom. So the first thing you're going to do is take a dot of glue, whatever adhesive you're using. If you have glue dots, you can use those as well. Just hold it there. And then you're just putting a dot, gunk on my, I'm going to put a dot there. So you're just making that envelope. And I'm going to go ahead and maybe hold it in place for a minute so that it sticks. You want it to be good, stuck good and tight on there. Okay. So then we're going to set that aside. That's our little envelope. Now with your stamp and your little black ink spot, whatever your stamp is, or if you want to use something at home, if you don't like your saying, you can always just write on this whatever you want. You can add your own decorations. This is just to give you the idea. So there's our little note that's going to go in it. Now, when it all gets said and done, you are going to want to have your little envelope get glued on the back. You could do this other ways if you want, but I've designed it to kind of be like a little love note. So a little love note popping out of there. And then you're just going to stick your little note in, and you can glue that in if you want, or you can leave it loose. And then after that, the next step is just to glue it right to the clear top of your little tin. And then you can fill that more with candies or shred or whatever. But you have this little teeny tiny, and if you want, you can fully put your note in there and fully close your thing up and give them something to where they know that they need to open it. And then it can open like a true little miniature envelope, like a little miniature letter. So that is the first project. That's the super easy piece of the project. All right, so we'll set that aside. Oop, my lid just came off. Okay. Oh, and if you want, sorry, I neglected to tell you, you will have enough of these little hearts that you might want to close it and put one of those little hearts on there just like so. Well, that one's upside down. Or you could put it on your note, however you want. But that you do need to keep one little heart for the next project. And that's going to be to make this teeny tiny little mailbox. And so I'm going to set off some of my stuff for a moment because we are going to need to get out my scoring tool. And so you're going to take your scoring tool and your solid piece of paper. Now, if you do not have a scoring tool, I'm going to show you a couple of alternatives, but let me show you first how you're going to score it. And then I'll show you if you don't have this wonderful scoring tool, which if you do a lot of paper crafting, I highly recommend it. I use it quite a bit. You're going to sit your paper in there and you're literally going to score it at 1 inch on each side. So for the scoring tool, you just put it in there and you follow the groove with the stylus tool. And it does all the hard work for you. You just press down and it makes it super easy to fold your box when you complete it. Okay, so that's using the scoring tool. I will show you a couple other ways you can do that. I've got a pair of scissors. I have a bone folder. I've lost my little ruler. I had that. Oh, here it is. I've got a metal ruler that actually might be better. So you can do the same thing. You can take your paper and just mark a little mark 1 inch like that. And usually if I'm going to do it this method, I kind of go down and mark my measurements in a couple of places. And then you're going to turn it each time. But you can then take your ruler and you can use the back side of a pair of scissors works well. If you have a bone tool, you can use that. You can use a pen that's don't have your ink out, have that down. If you do that, you have to almost move your ruler a little bit because it makes for a wide edge. But all of those three methods will work. And if you don't have a straight edge, you can also always use the edge of a notebook, something that's hard that isn't going to move when you lay it across your paper so that it gives you a nice straight edge. See, I could even do this ruler to ruler for that. Okay. So those are a couple other ways for you to score. if you do not have the scoring tool, which you do not need. It just makes it very quick and easy. Also, if you happen to have a pick tool, one of our pick tools, you could use either of this end, and it also comes with a stylus end as well. But those would all be things that you could use to run that. At the end of the day, you just need something to give you. If you have a paper trimmer that has a scoring blade on it, you can use that as well. And then you see I'm just folding those all in. Now, the goal is to cut out these 4. I'm going to do them in ink so you can see them. You end up with 4 boxes, okay, around the sides. You want to cut those out and get rid of those. So you're just cutting in with your scissors, like so, all following those score lines all the way around your box. And when you get done, you're going to have kind of like the old, little bit distorted version of the old Red Cross, that type of symbol. It's that wide cross. Okay. Don't worry if your edges are not perfectly straight. You'll be able to catch that as you go in. But you do want to try to get them out of there as good as you can. Okay. So that is the first step for that. Now, the next thing that I suggest that you do is pick one side that is going to be the front of your mailbox. So this isn't going to, I know it looks crazy, but this is going to end up being your mailbox. So whatever is going to be the front, okay? So for demonstrating purposes, I'm just going to write on here, front, back, and then these are my sides that will fold in, okay? So on the back, you just want to cut out a tiny little square, not a square, sorry, an angle, a little tiny triangle to give a little bit of angle. Not very much, not very big at all. Now, the front, you can actually, if you had a corner rounder, that's a perfect tool for this. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but I cannot currently find, I have like 3 corner rounders, and because apparently that I want them for a project, naturally, none of them can be located at this moment in time. So I just drew around something curvy. You can hand cut this. If you had a particular punch shape that you like, you can shape it like so, or you can just randomly hand cut it. You can round it more. Like I'm going to come in and round this a little bit more on here. I really like the one side better than the other, so let's just see if I can round that a little bit more. Okay. Woo! And my mailbox just went flying. Okay. So once you've designated the front and the back of your mailbox, you're going to set that aside for a moment. Okay, so we've got all that done. Set that aside. Remember these 2 candies. If you have some double-sided tape, or you can just use white glue or whatever, Snell, whatever, I suggest stacking them and adhering them together. Okay, like so. You might have 2 of the same kind. I'm not sure. I thought I had more of these bars than actually came in the box. So it did not come with as many as it advertised. So you're going to stack them. It won't matter. They're going to go right in that center part of your mailbox. Okay, just like so. That's where you're going to end up with, okay? So now you're going to take, and I'm going to flip mine so that I'm kind of covering some of those writings up. This is going to be the inside. So on your outside of the sides, you're going to take your designer paper and you are going to glue it with whatever adhesive you like. I am again using the white Tombow Mono. If your pattern is paper, if your paper has a pattern with a direction, You want to look at that and think, how will I be looking at that from the front of my mailbox? And you're going to put that right over that. And at this point, I would go ahead and I suggest going ahead and putting some double-sided tape, or your tear tape would have worked. I just didn't have mine out here. And attach hot glue will work as well for this. You can hot glue your candies in there with a warm temp. So now you have this look. Now remember this back, we want that to slightly come in to those candies. You do not need to put adhesive there, but if you find that it's popping out, you can always stick a little adhesive on your back of your candy, or even just on the back of the mailbox, and help it to stay. Because what's eventually going to come around, you want that to be inside. Now you're going to come on around and you're going to end up gluing the DSP to the other side. And you don't want a sharp bend in this. You want it to curve around, because that's what's going to give you the tiny curve of the mailbox. Okay. And if you want, you can add your candy later. It may be easier for you to add your candy last. Those little cuts will make that open, but kind of keep it attached in for the back of your mailbox. So now you have the front of your mailbox that's showing with candy. You can choose to put a drop down on there, but that is not how I designed it. I designed it to be sitting with the little front of the mailbox open, and I'll show you why. The final little piece that just makes it absolutely adorable, and I'm going to get my big straight edge scissors. You will want to cut down this gray. You've got more than enough. It's going to be your little flag pole. Okay, your little flag. And you want your little flag to stick up. And your little flag at the top, you know, the little red flag piece, that's going to be represented with one of these little teeny tiny hearts. That's why you want that little gray flag stick to be pretty skinny. I still have mine a little wider than what I want, but you want it to be pretty thin. And then I did not include a dot, but for me, what I would like to do is just use a little marker or a pen and put a little dot down here at the base of the mailbox. It kind of just makes it look like it has that hinge hardware. Then you're going to glue that wherever you like your little, probably the bottom half or so of the little mailbox flag is going to get glued. And you can glue it at an angle if you want, however, wherever you feel like that flag would land on your mailbox. How adorable is that? It's so cute. The little heart flag to me is what makes that absolutely adorable. Now, if you followed along and you want to try to make more of these on your own, the dimensions for the paper that you need to cut, your designer paper would be 3 1/4 long by 1 3/4 wide. And your solid colored cardstock that you would start with would be 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. So if you want to make more of those are the dimensions that you would use. 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 and 3 1/4 by 1 3/4. Then of course you score this at 1 inch, turn it, score at 1 inch, turn it, score at 1 inch, turn it, score at 1 inch, turn it, and you cut out those 4 squares. All right, so I hope that you really enjoy these teeny tiny, super cute, litty bitty Valentines that we've done this month. And I hope that you have a heartfelt Valentine's as well. And I'll see you again next month. Again, if you need anything in the meantime, please feel free to check out my new blog spot, message me, or call or text me or email me. I'll be happy to help you. All right. Again, I'm located right here in Southern Colorado. Bye-bye.
everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Shannon as she demonstrated our project. I've got a bunch of kits left, and rather than having you guys register for them if you'd like one, stop into the Rawlings Library. We're open for business again for you guys to come in for an hour at a day. And you can just stop by the front desk and ask for a kit instead of having to register for them, just because I had only a few folks register. They're here till they're gone. I think I've got about 20 left. So please do stop by and ask for a Valentine's stamping kit. All right, next week we'll finish up our watercolor painting, and then we'll have kits from Collective Pueblo and from Shannon next month. All right, until I get to see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep making, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Don't get blown away. Bye.